This week's Parsha is Mishpatim. The Parsha contains over 50 mitzvot and many laws regarding civil and criminal matters. One of the most famous laws in this week's Parsha is ayin tachat ayin, an eye for an eye. On its face, the Torah seems to obligate the Jewish court to gouge out the eye of a batterer who damaged another human being and take retribution. Our rabbis Chazal teach us that this is not the case. Ayin tachat ayin means financial payment. The rabbis bring a proof to this from another context. The Torah says, Lo sikhu kofer lenefesh rotzayach. Don't take a financial penalty from a murderer who must go to a city of refuge. The rabbis deduce it is specifically a murderer that cannot make a financial payment and avoid physical punishment. But another perpetrator, a batterer, could make a financial payment and avoid a physical punishment. Why couldn't the Torah keep it simple? If the penalty for damaging someone's eye is a financial payment, why wouldn't the Torah not say it like that? Why write it in a way that's confusing and can cause people to make a mistake? Why does the Torah write ayin tachat ayin? To answer this question, we have to go back to the very beginning, the creation of the world. The Torah begins, Bereshit bara Elohim et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. In the beginning, God created the heaven and earth. The Torah uses the name Elohim, or Elohim, we say for respect, which is a name of God that refers to God's attribute of justice. A few psukim later, the Torah again describes creation, and there the Torah says, B'yom bara Hashem Elohim et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. Why does the Torah use a different way to describe God in the different psukim? And once again, this is something which creates confusion. There have been critical academics throughout history who have tried to argue that the Torah had different authors. One famous one's name was Wellhausen. And it was based on this distinction that the Torah says, in the beginning, bara Elohim. And later, the Torah says, Hashem Elohim. Chazal, our rabbis, explain this. They explain that mitchila, in the beginning, God wanted to create the world with justice. Everything had to be absolutely fair. After all, God's name is Emet, Din. That's Elohim. That's the creation of justice, where an eye for an eye is an eye for an eye. If someone does something wrong, they get absolute justice. But Hashem saw that the world could not survive with absolute justice. So Hashem added in mercy. Hashem added in rachamim. This, Rabbi Joseph B. Soloveitchik explains, is the reason why the Torah in its written form says ayin tachat ayin, an eye for an eye, absolute justice, the way Hashem initially wanted to create the world. But in the oral Torah, in the Torah Shebaal Peh, we learn that Hashem added in rachamim, added in mercy, and therefore an eye for an eye now becomes a financial payment. The rachamim, the mercy of Hashem, mitigates the punishment from being retribution, losing your eye, to a financial payment. Of course, the ultimate justice will come from Hashem to the perpetrator. But in our world, we have to temper din, we have to temper justice with rachamim, with mercy. Our rabbis teach us that our role in this world is to emulate Hashem. The Torah here is teaching us that just like Hashem, in his creation of the world, initially would have created a perfect world of justice, but realized that justice in the world has to be tempered by mercy in our own lives. When we interact with our colleagues, our children, our spouses, we also should temper our feelings of justice with mercy and give people the benefit of the doubt. Good Shabbos.